welcome, Alexis, to our podcast. We're so excited to have you on today.
Welcome.
Hi.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, guys.
First
Hi.
of all, where's your head at?
Well, let's see. At this particular hour,
Well,
I'm a couple joints in, so it's pretty high.
it's 4 o'clock in Vegas, and you said
It's almost 4:20, so I'm almost on point with that. So.
Really?
Okay, yeah.
Nice. It's what? How hot was it? 110 Fahrenheit. So
43
Yeah, so
degrees.
that's what 43 in Celsius.
It's insane.
is this one of the hottest
Yeah,
summers
it's
you guys
hot.
are having?
You know, it all feels the same. I mean, once it's 115, 110 doesn't feel that much different, to be honest. It's weird. It's as soon as the sun starts to go down, I like to go into my pool. My pool is nice and warm. It's like 80 degrees, and it's quite relaxing at that point. Yeah, but I definitely wait for the sun to go down and for it gets a little shaded outside. But what's really nice, what I do like about Vegas, is that I'm so close to the mountains. So in about 50 minutes or so, I can be up in Mount Charleston, and Mount Charleston will stay about 20 to sometimes even 30 degrees cooler.
Beautiful.
In fact, I could look that up for you. But it's about 20 degrees, 30 degrees cooler, which is significant and does feel much better. Plus, it's a lot more green and shaded up there. So I take little breaks because I'm an outdoorsy person. So if you stick me inside for too long, I get antsy, I get cranky, quite cunty, if you say. Can I swear on here?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? I'm just I don't that's why I don't go to zoos, because I'm like, God, if I was a fucking animal, I'd eat people. And I'm like, yeah, jump in here, let's go.
You get real
I don't know why people do that, by the way. I'm always on the animal side. I'm like, that's what you get for climbing in there. That is what you get for trying to take a selfie right next to a buffalo and its baby. Like, what are you thinking? Like, come on.
So true. So true. Well, you're a very busy lady at the moment. Tell us about some recent projects you are working on at the moment.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna text. I should have my my business partner actually bring some stuff up so I can actually show you.
Yeah.
Since we are doing, I didn't think about it ahead of time. I apologize.
No.
So I have a couple of different things that I do. I was actually just recording my own podcast, the Alexis Fawx Show, which was originally a kind of comedy variety show that I did in Los Angeles before the pandemic. I hosted and produced it, and my best friend, also my business partner, helped me with it as well. And it was great. I love comedy. I love to laugh. Laughter has taken me so far in life. Yeah. And so it was really cool to be a part of that. And then the pandemic happened and people were not meeting up. And they also weren't, and it was also cannabis friendly. So hence the Alexis Fawx Show, kind of play on words. And so people weren't meeting up anymore, and we turned that into the podcast. So hence I've been kind of shooting that and filming that. And we created a whole new studio for it, which is really, really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's funny. I can definitely say I've gotten better, but it's like anything new. Anything new you may not be the best at right away, right? Like it's a whole new genre, it's a whole new industry. It's a lot different than, versus talking on a mic. It's just a different type of mic that I'm talking on. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely getting better. I'm getting a lot more comfortable in that, and which is really super fun for me. And it's really cool to sit down with, the comics, the people, different local vendors, whether they're, the brewery I work with, or cannabis dispensaries, or growers, or people in my industry, or anybody, anybody that we find really interesting that we want to have on. It's nice to sit back, have a casual conversation. I smoke on it. If they want to, if they're also a cannabis user, they're more than welcome. Or if they want to pop a beer open, or coffee, or water, it doesn't matter. Nothing is ever pushed. It's just nice and relaxed. Sit back, relax, have a conversation. It's really cool. And you learn a lot. You learn a lot about people that way.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I didn't know you were into that. I've worked with people for 13 years in this industry, and I'm learning new things about them, which I find is really, really cool. So I do that. I also have a coffee. It was originally called the High AF, but everybody thought it had THC in it, and I'm like, I couldn't sell it. across all the borders, across countries, you know, I would be caught. Like, there would be a problem with that, I'm sure. So I did change the name to HAF, like half coffee. And we have teas, coffee beans, things of that nature, all in there, cocoa. And that's really fun for me. I love coffee.
Yeah,
coffee gets me going in the morning.
We are big coffee.
Oh, I'm going to have to send you guys some.
You need to come to Melbourne. It's the coffee capital of the world.
Melbourne is a coffee capital, so yeah.
I'm going, like, when I visit, I'll have to do an in-person interview.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have Joe bring me up some of my products
You
here.
can bring some of your coffee
Hold on,
as well.
I know, I'm sorry. Can you bring me a coffee bag and my beer? I also have beer.
Yes.
I do a beer
she's got all the
collab.
good stuff.
Yeah.
I know. I'm gonna have to send you guys a care package.
Yeah, we love it.
Talking my language.
Sit at the border for a while.
Coffee and beer.
I'll send you. I'll say happy birthday on it. So yeah, so with the coffee, what that actually led to, I just absolutely love coffee. I think it's great. You know, it's how I start my day.
Yeah.
I only try to keep it down to 1 or 2 cups a day, way before 2 o'clock, just because it does interrupt my sleep. If I'm just a high energy person, so
Yeah.
for me, it does interrupt my sleep. So I'm trying to I'm careful with that, but. It's just really cool having coffees around the world. You know what I mean? I have like my favorite. I love Italian like espresso. It's very chocolate. It just kind of rolls over your tongue. It's velvety. It's just really good. You know.
I love it.
I also love Central American coffee. You know, you go to Peru, you go to Costa Rica. Oof,
They're the
Costa Rica is
Arabica
really
beans.
good coffee.
Yeah.
Is that,
Huh?
Are they Arabica beans?
Yeah. I have a lot. Yeah, yes, I do. So I have.
I'm under the impression I'm not as much of a concierge to coffee. To me, I just need coffee. Like,
No, but
Coffee-
Well, okay.
Coffee's like sex. Even if it's bad, it's still good. To me, that's my opinion.
true.
That's my
Well,
opinion.
yeah, you'll still drink it if you want it so bad. Like I've had some bad coffee. I've been in some countries where I'm just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad I make my coffee now, and then I have Oh, cool. And then I have the Alexis Fawx one in the casita. Thanks. I really appreciate it. So this is the coffee that I'm talking about.
Oh, yum.
So this one is this is a decaf one. But anyway, yeah, I do have.
Nice. So you
Love
Not even
it.
on the camera. There we go.
do you put these into stores? Like, do the coffee shops stock this?
Yeah, I actually have it here in a local store. It's online, obviously, haf.coffee. And here is our breakfast blend, which is a light roast. I have light, medium, and dark roast, so depending on what you like. If you guys told me what type of coffee or what beans you normally go for, then I would know exactly what to send you. But I'll send you a whole bunch.
I trust you. That
I even have little teas if you're into tea.
Yeah.
love.
And stuff like that. But yeah, I have it in a local store here, Corey's. Open to everyone, and it's it's one of my favorite little local joints. And ever since I moved to Vegas, I've always gone there. I like the local mom and pop places that are owned by a local person. Like, I just love those places. They have character. You get to know the family. I just love it. And so when I came out with my coffee and, we got talking, and I noticed that they were also selling other people's coffee there. And I was like, hey, I have my own coffee business. Would you be interested? And they were like, absolutely. So
Yeah.
that's just how that all transpired, just being, a patron and making good relations with the people that I visit. So
Absolutely.
there you go. And
Yeah.
I also have my beer.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh,
tell us
she's got the
about
beer.
Yeah, tell us more about. I want to try this.
I love it. They look
They
great.
look awesome.
Yeah, so we have the cheers. So the coffee led to the beer. Sorry. I do a lot of stuff, guys.
I know. You're such an entrepreneur. I love it.
It keeps me, I need help sometimes. But so the coffee led to the beer. I actually went to a hockey game. Everybody knows who Phoenix Marie is. She was playing hockey here in Vegas, a little local small team. Went to go show support, and Matt, who owns Astronomy Aleworks, was there, and we just got chatting, and I was like, yeah, I have coffee, and I was like, he was like, I would love to do a coffee beer. So I was like, perfect. Let's work together. Let's collab. And we did a handshake on it. And here is the product called Cheers to Breakfast. And this is a very popular beer here. Every time it goes to, it's sold all over Vegas, at the different places that it's sold at the person that gets it out there. But yeah, so as soon as it gets taken to a place, it usually sells out before I even get down there to take a picture with it. So we actually sold out of the keg. We tapped out of the keg the very first time we tapped it on the night of the party, which the party was only 4 hours, and we tapped that shit fast. It was really awesome.
I'm gonna need to try that one. Coffee,
yeah.
like sounds. Ideal.
Yes. I will do my best to send it. You guys will care. It'll be like a happy birthday. I don't know, whatever.
It was my birthday technically this month, so.
There you go. There you go. And then for the lighter drinkers, of course, or folks that, just want to kick back, we have the blonde ale, which is Alexis Fawx, and it has the whole Las Vegas.
Love that.
Old school. And I've had every color hair, so we went with the blonde on that one. And we do all kinds of stuff, like MILF stouts and all kinds of stuff.
Have you always lived in Vegas, or?
No, I used to live in, I've lived in a couple different places. I used to be in the military, so I traveled around a little bit with that. I grew up in a small town in Pennsylvania, went into the Air Force, went into college, and that all took me down to Miami, Florida. I literally flipped a coin between Phoenix, Arizona, and Miami.
I love that.
Miami won, and I packed my stuff, sold whatever I didn't need, and moved to Miami, and that was a whole life-changing experience. I went down there in my 20s and left many years later.
Wow.
That's so rare to do that.
I love the spontaneity of that. That's so fun. Tell us about being in Miami and then obviously getting into the adult entertainment industry. How did that even happen?
It's wild. I got to really sit down and really kind of make notes of my life someday. I really do. I'm kind of a yes person. I like to say yes to opportunities. You never know what's going to come out of it, and I don't look at things as failures or this, that, and the other. It's all a learning experience, right? So I'm down in Miami. I got the corporate bullshit job. Yeah. And it just didn't go with my personality, you know what I mean? And so I'm down in Miami. I'm having a little bit too good of a time because I didn't really care for my job. So, you become that weekend warrior where you're like, woo, happy hour, party. You're just trying to satisfy something because your week's miserable. I was working for attorneys, oh, fuck that. So
we've spoken about that as well, yeah.
I was like, I had enough. And I hauled off and quit everything. And that was the first time, in many, many years, I was, without a job and, wasn't working. I was like, shit, okay. So I saved up and everything, and I eventually had to get a job. And back in the day, remember Craigslist? I don't know how that was in Australia. Yeah, so Craigslist wasn't, I guess, as dangerous, or maybe I didn't see it as dangerous. And so I'm on Craigslist, and I was like, what kind of little part-timey thing, or how can I get, what's out there? Because I just knew I did not want to work in another office. I did not want to work for another person's dream for a cap salary and, ask 2 weeks off for work. To me, it was just sounded like bullshit. So, and I was miserable at it, and I didn't want to go back to the bad behaviors, and that just wasn't a good way to live. And, so I answered a Craigslist ad to be an extra for Dancing Bear. And I'm like, a free spirit. I've watched a lot of porn. And surprise. And I knew what Dancing Bear was. I was like, oh my God, I know what this is. I want to go see it. I want to watch live sex, da 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 da. Yeah. And so I answered back and said, okay, I'll be there at that such and such time. And I was there. I went down by myself. I don't even know if I told anybody. And not because I was embarrassed. I think I'm just a very independent, solo type of person. So whenever I make a decision, I just go fucking do it. I don't need to talk about it, Yeah. So I just went and did it, and I showed up, and of course, I had black hair at the time, skinny with these big titties, and so I guess I looked the part for one, and and they were going through this list of if you kissed your friend or whatever, you made X amount of money, etc., etc. And they were only going to blowjob that day, so they needed someone, they needed people to do blowjobs. And so they said, if you do a blowjob, you make, I think it was like $500 or something. I was like, whatever, what is that, 5 minutes of my fucking time? And I was like, yeah, yeah, I've done this before many times. I never got fucking paid. Yeah, I want to get paid for this. I told I was good. Who knows?
If you're good at it, don't do it for free.
This will be the test if they were lying or not, right? Maybe they feel so good. I don't know. Yeah. I read a lot of books. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I raised my hand immediately. There wasn't a whole lot of like wish-washy thought behind it. Like I said, I like to say yes to opportunities. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'll make that money today. Yeah, so I'll do it. And yeah, I got down to my turn, and it was the main dude with the I got my hair and makeup done that day. I felt really super beautiful, and went down. We were on set. I sat next to this really awesome chick. I wish I stayed in contact with her. She was awesome. And here comes, the bear head and the guy and the dancer, and he comes around, dicks in my face, and I just was like, girl, do everything and every porn you've ever watched before. Gag on it, spit on it, just get sloppy, whatever, hit yourself with it. All the shit that you've watched before, do it now. Like, just don't take as long as the girl that it happened. Like, I swear, I don't know. I say this story all the time. This poor girl is going to let me down one day. The girl before me, it took like 15 minutes. I was like, I didn't want to do 15 minutes. I was going to get this job done in 5. Like, I'm like, let's do this. So yeah, so I went to town, and the lady and the awesome girl or woman next to me was like so cool, and she was like, she cheered me on, she like pushed my head in, she helped me get into the moment and the experience. And honestly, my heart didn't really start pumping like, oh my god, what did I just get myself into? Like, who are you at this point? Wasn't until actually I saw the bear dancing towards me, and I was like, oh, I'm really gonna have to blow this guy right now. But yeah, I did it, and I was like really happy with my performance, and apparently they were too. And
call back.
Yeah, well, yeah, I actually got offered my very first boy-girl the very next day.
Wow!
So I had to leave there and get prepared, and the very next day I was doing my first boy-girl, and as Alexis Fawx. For MILF Soup, and you can look it up. It was funny actually today. Someone posted a picture of me like 13 years. I've been in the industry for 13 years. 13 years ago. And then posted, I would say probably in the last 2 years. It could have been like 22. I can't remember when that picture was taken. And the difference, like you can see, like, and I was like, they were like, which one's better? And I was like, really, which one? That's healthy versus unhealthy. Going into the industry, I would have to say I wasn't the most healthiest physically, mentally, and spiritually and emotionally. And because of the industry, it gave me really gave me a boost of confidence, and also the stability, and able to kind of create, it actually really helped me create the stability that I needed in my life to take care of myself better. Wow. And so you can definitely see it in the photos. It's kind of wild. Like, I was super skinny to I'm not so, like, I'm more muscular and stuff now. So it's really cool to kind of see the progress of that.
So how does porn work? Do you have an agent, or is it just like you just get hit up for the jobs? Like, how does that kind of all work behind the scenes?
It all depends. And also OnlyFans has changed a lot of stuff. Whenever I first got in 13 years ago, it was kind of like the thing to get an agent, especially if you wanted to start working like in LA. Like, I was coming from Miami, so I needed someone in LA to represent me, right? Yeah. To get those jobs, because I wasn't there physically and I didn't have that personal connection. And it was just a little bit different back in 13 years ago. Like, agents were definitely something that you wanted to look into and get, because that's how you were going to probably get most of your jobs until you built your name, and then you might veer off and not work with your agent anymore, because you might have like, the directors, who everybody is at this point, right? Now with OnlyFans, now it's because, you can create a lot of success for yourself on OnlyFans. You have a lot of requests, and also now your fans are requesting you on mainstream sets possibly, or maybe that's where you want to take your career. So now I think you can get an agent. I just don't know if it's so required anymore. Like, I don't have an agent anymore. Yeah. Why? I'm contracted to. I've been in the industry for 13 years. I know pretty much. I can kind of reach out to most people. And I have my OnlyFans and stuff like that. So I can kind of, I don't know anybody in our industry that wouldn't be on OnlyFans
What
at
is
this
your
point.
opinion on OnlyFans then? Is it taken away from the porn industry now that people go to OnlyFans? So like your Pornhubs and your RedTubes wouldn't get as much traffic as they used to? Or do you think that...
I don't really know if that's really like, I just know that it's a one-stop shop where all of us are. And that's why OnlyFans has been so successful for us in our, especially in the adult industry, and now it's definitely successful for many other creators out there. So it's not just adult anymore, which is, cool and all, because there's plenty of room for all of us to succeed in all these avenues. Has it taken away? I don't know. Like, I think it's just, it's evolving.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to use the words taking away. I think it's just evolving. I think, change is good in a lot of ways. I like having OnlyFans because, like, it's given a lot of the power into our hands as performers to be able to be a lot more, maybe... I've always been selective, but now I could be even more selective because I can sit at home and go live and make my rate.
Yeah. That's so good.
For an hour. For an hour of work. That means I don't have to get my hair and makeup done. Like, I jump on with no hair and makeup on, but that's just me. And honestly, the guys love it. They love the realism. They're like, they don't always, not every guy wants to see you all glammed up. Like, that's the thing that I also realized, by going live. And I think what also helped me prepare me also with the OnlyFans thing is when I first got in, camming also just started. So camming helped get us a lot more independent and off the agent's dick and off, like, always depending on all, like, the scenes. And now, like, and I always encourage, look up the site, look who you're working with, look up who you're working with, make sure you're fully comfortable with all of that. And everything should be disclosed and everything should be transparent. And they've made a lot more changes where that is. And then you can, make your decision. And if you're not 100% about something, don't fucking do it. Even if you're at 99, like, I'm pretty sure that 1% might come back and bite you in the ass and be like, God damn it, I really wasn't ready for that. You know what I mean? So when you're 100%, do that. I've had, like, a wonderful journey, a really positive experience in this industry. It's helped me become a healthier person. It's empowered me as a human, as a female. The power of no, that's a complete sentence, and I have no problem saying it, and I don't have to give an explanation. I think a lot of time us women feel that, we almost have, like, this guilty thing where we're like, if we say no, we have to give a reason why. You don't. I'm going to tell you, you don't. It's a complete sentence. I don't need to give you a reason. Men don't. A lot of other people don't. I don't want to just split it down to two genders, but, like, everybody. So it's, like, really helped me find my voice where I don't think I always had that before. Being in toxic relationships or any of those things, and now I'm like, you have to, this is the adult industry. So you have to be able to say, I'm okay with this, I'm not okay with this, and stick by that and be okay within yourself because you're still going to get the work.
And
that's how that was always my attitude. Like, hey, if I'm not ready for it, I'm not going to fucking do it. I'm still going to get the work regardless.
Was it ever hard
because you're going to get the,
I was just going to say, was it ever hard to set those boundaries when you were younger in the industry?
Well, when I got into the industry, I was already in my 30s.
Right.
So where I was probably not very good with my boundaries was in my 20s. So, entering this industry, like, into my 30s and having some life experiences, it was a lot easier for me to like, stick to whatever I wanted to say. And, like I'm like also the type of person, like, one door closes, 10 more will open for me, so that's fine.
I love that.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
It's just, do you believe in, like, that manifesting kind of attitude? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And manifestation isn't just writing something on a bullet board and, like, leaving it up there and looking at it every day on the fridge. It's working towards that. It's having the mental fortitude. Like, you already have it. Now you just got to, like, that's your focus. I get so zeroed in on stuff, like, this is what I want, and I'm going to do it properly, and I'm going to get there by being kind and great, having gratitude towards the whole experience, and I'm going to learn from it, and we're going to get there.
Yeah.
When you got so when you did that first shoot with the bear, the dancing bear, did you ever think that like you would be literally one of the most successful porn stars, in my opinion, in the industry? Did you really?
It almost got me a little choked up there. No, and I've said that, and I've actually, it kind of dawned on me too, maybe a couple years ago, where it's like, when I was sitting there making up the Alexis Fawx name, and like, okay, I'm going to be this alter ego, for these films, and that, like, obviously online and so on and so forth. I didn't know. I was just, like, winning awards and, creating, different collaborations and brands and everything that it's come into. No, I had no idea. No idea. I didn't even know what to expect.
Yeah, we had a look at your the awards that you've won. There's too many to even start to list. And congrats!
Thanks.
Like, you've definitely made a big name for yourself, and well done. You've done really well at it. Yeah.
Was one MILF of the year? Was
you
that
won
one?
the most MILF of the year 2019. What year was it?
It was 2020, and then it was 2022.
Yeah, recently.
For both XBiz and ABN, and then there was another like hot MILF on another hot movies. There's quite a few. I have them downstairs in my room. I don't know.
You have a room just dedicated to all your awards.
I even just recently won like Cannabis Porn Star Award. I was like, okay, cool, I'll take it.
Take it. An award's an award. Yeah, take it.
Absolutely.
I'll take it. The thing is so cute. It's like the lightest one I have. I'm like, oh, fuck it, I love it. I'll stick it up there too.
Just add it to the
Why not?
Yeah.
I think
well,
I got up on stage. I'll say, check me out on OnlyFans.
There's so many on there that it's good that it's light, or else it might fall down the shelf. So it's good that it's light.
True.
You said you made up your name, Alexis Fawx. Talk us through that. Did you use what is it? Your first pet name?
No. Whatever. Yeah, I know. I love playing those games though. They're so fun. I'm like, damn, that would have been a good name. I should have did that.
What's yours? What is yours?
If it was like my first dog and like some street name that I lived on, I always picked Daisy Heinzelman.
That's great. I like that.
It's good.
Like, I've played those games where you're like, oh, well, I did have this pet way back, and okay, I'll put that in there. And
mine is.
Yeah.
What do you think of mine? Joey Brady.
Ooh, Joey Brady.
Is that
sounds like a men.com.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a pretty catchy one. I don't mind it.
I like it. I think you should go for it.
Yeah,
so how Alexis Fawx even came about was I had a friend in marketing, and I was like, oh God, I don't know what to do. I got to make up this name. And so I was texting or calling and stuff like that, and he helped me. He said, Alexis is good because you want to stick with an A name because that way you're always on the top search, right? And then the whole like FAWX, like the whole like Fox, which is really kind of transformed into like Fox.
Yeah.
Was like like a play on words, like Alexis Fawx and stuff like that, and just a neat way to spell it because it's also different. And I think for the most part, I think there might have been one other person that recently came out with an FAWX, but it's been pretty simple. Alexis is pretty popular though. But yeah, it just came about and it just stuck, and I've never changed it since.
Were you territorial when that other person came out with the Fox? Nah.
No.
You're like, you do you, I'm better.
Yeah, you do.
I'm number one.
If it was exactly the same, I'd be like, it's a little weird. You might want to think about it. Because I actually have a trademark, so if it was exactly the same, I could actually be like, hey, you're going to have to change that.
Yeah. Well,
I trademark my name and everything.
I think that's something that's interesting. Like when I think about the industry, is it very competitive and bitchy? Because I kind of like in my mind, I'm confused whether it's like very like a kind of family type situation or if it's like totally the opposite.
I think it kind of depends, maybe your age group.
Yeah.
No, I think there might be a little bit more competition and maybe in the younger ladies, in their 20s and stuff, like they're building their name, they want to get like the publicity, and I get it. Like, fuck yeah, you got it. I think once you get into the MILF category, we're like, yeah, we've been around a lot, fuck yeah, we're all like friends. Like, hey, how you doing over there? You still living? Like we're just catching up. We take vacations with each other. We don't give a fuck. Like, woohoo, high-fiving. Like, yeah, one for the team. Good for it. I think it just depends. I think honestly, above all, given everything combined, I think we are an exceptional group of people. We are, for the most part, and again, I can only speak for my own personal journey and my own experiences with the people that I've experienced, but I really feel that we're an exceptional group of people. We are a lot of times a very self-regulating group. If something does come up, we will get on, we do talk about it. You'll see that sometimes on Twitter. You're like, oh, fuck. But yeah, I think we're a self-regulating group. I think we do take care of us. We try to support each other as much as possible. I guess in some ways we are a really big family. I really enjoy everybody that I've been able to come in contact with and been able to meet throughout this entire time in this career. You have exceptionally talented, smart individuals out there, like way beyond, we just tapped into a different source of income. Yeah. We're very comfortable people. And I think when you meet more of people like myself, people from this industry, you'll find we're great. We can be very well at communicating, very well at comprehending. You can very non-judgmental.
Yeah, I love that.
All sorts. I mean, and it's also I look at my fan base, which is, it varies. Young, the young college guys to the older dudes to the same age dudes and ladies, and I mean, of all from my sissies to my macho men to the dommy mommy guys to all those things. So when you have such a wide range of fans, the last thing I feel very honored. They'll come to me and they'll have all types of sorts of kinks, and they might not able to tell their partner that they want their nipples pinched or sucked, or it could be just as that small, or maybe they have a foot fetish and stuff like that. So I'm there for that. And I'm happy to provide it. I'm glad I can provide a safe, comfortable place that these individuals can feel comfortable, expressing themselves. And I think we also live in a day and age where a lot of people may not be going out all the time and having one-night stands. I don't know. I think a lot of people are on the internet where they need to be. Yeah. And maybe not leaving their homes as much. And so it's we saw that definitely with 2020. It was definitely a release for a lot of people. Yeah. And it's not such a bad thing, I love my fans. I love every single. I don't care. I love them all. They're really sweet to me, and I wouldn't be here today without them. And it's always an honor whenever they come on and we go live and we talk. And I have some fans that have been with me for 13 years.
Wow, so that's a long time.
Dedicated. Have you ever had a fan come up to you and they've been really let's say obsessed and gone crazy? What's the craziest thing a fan has done? Have they sent you anything crazy? Surely.
I guess my craziest story of a fan or an obsessed person, it actually got quite scary. We have a bunch of different, and I only would see it because I only do conventions, most of the time. Yeah. It was at a convention, and he was just it got year after year noticeably bad, where he would just show up, and somehow find out where our hotel rooms are, and that part gets scary. Yeah. I had to alert security before. I've had to alert yeah, it got really bad actually even last year. He showed up at private parties, and it was just you can't do that, dude. Sorry.
It's flattering.
that's the word. Like, don't do that to us.
It's scary.
I know.
It's scary.
It's like really. It could be quite creepy. He was actually. I was conversing with people, and I'm glad I have such a good friend as my business partner. He was this person was literally standing right behind me, and I had no idea because he was that quiet.
Terrifying. Oh my god.
Yeah, and I'm pretty present. Like, I'm pretty, present, but my attention's right now, and it was just be like this white thing standing behind me, and I had no clue. Couldn't even hear him fucking breathe. And so when my best friend came up, he Zoomed. So I've had moments like that, which is just highly inappropriate, and just that's not how you treat people. I don't care who you are. No. But I have to say, most of my fans have been really super sweet. I get ran into a lot, in the airport when I look like a homeless person ready to catch a flight. I'm like, it's an early flight, guys. It's I got up at 4 a.m. I'm not. It's a mess. And they're all like, can I get a picture? And I'm like, sure. Barely a coffee in me. But a lot of times they're so sweet. Sometimes they're just they're super shy. Sometimes and then some are like, can I give you a kiss? And I'm like, no.
They ask me for a kiss?
I get it. These guys, it's realistically, it all comes with it, these guys are having intimate moments. Yeah. I'm not there, but they're having an intimate moment with me on the screen, or OnlyFans, maybe we're sexting or stuff like that, and it's exciting for them. They get a little. It's just exciting. They get overexcited.
Have you ever kissed a fan?
No.
Have you ever dated a fan?
No, not that I know. They knew not to tell me. No.
Yeah. You'd have to.
No, I mean it's not like a bad thing. I've just never. I don't want to cross it too much.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's also when I even to give the girlfriend experience on my OnlyFans and stuff. I also, I'm also very blunt about it. Hey, this is a girlfriend experience. It's a service. Let's not, I don't want to drag someone down a hole that's never going to happen, because I think that's a horrible thing. You get you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you think that guys who sign up for the girlfriend experience are secretly hoping that you're going to fall in love with them?
I'm sure it happens. I'm sure it happens.
Yeah.
But that's where hey, it's this amount of money per week or per month, depending on the package and what you want. That you're going to have to do each time. So it's not like a one-time fee and then you forget about it. Because then I would think that if there's not that exchange once in a while, then those feelings aren't getting interrupted. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's just really out of the kindness. I'm not trying to drag someone, and also out of safety. If I, told someone that I love them and I care for them and all this, and then they believe that, and all of a sudden they find out where I really live or this, that, and the other. That's a dangerous situation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then what do they have? They have the proof of. Well, you did tell this person. So I look at all that, and I take that all in consideration. And I also explain that, I'm just like, hey, this is a transaction. This is what we're doing here. It's not out of kindness. And then I get right into it, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to provide a fantasy, not a reality.
Absolutely. Does the industry ever kind of mess with you mentally? How has your mental health been throughout your career in the adult industry?
I feel, again, I think I come from a different place, but I feel that I've gotten stronger and better mentally. I mean, I would say physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, I've definitely gotten stronger over time. And, I think I have, I think I deal with things. I take breaks. I ground myself. I have a really good sense of balance. When I feel like I'm getting out of balance, then I dip back out. I take time off.
Yeah.
I go hiking. I go outside. I take it off the phone. I think I think a lot of the mental situations and illnesses, and even people, I think, are almost becoming a fad from what I've been reading on some people even, fatting that they have autism, is they're always on social media and they never get off of it, and they're constantly, consuming like this information and all the time and always comparing, and that's really affecting our neurotransmitters and our brain activity up there. And yeah, I'm on it, but I'm on it because it's my business. If I don't have any private social media whatsoever. Everything I have is Alexis Fawx, and it's a business.
Yeah.
And I try to keep it that way. And anytime I do, because I do consume social media, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't. I try to what I do is limit the time I consume, and I also focus and have it centered around things that are going to inspire me, motivate me, teach me something financially, whatever that case may be. Because if I'm going to consume it, then let it be positive.
Totally.
Because there's a lot of crap out there that is not true and negative, and it's opinionated, and it's just like, it's so much shit. It drive anybody insane.
Yeah.
I have an ex that would say.
Yeah, and take advantage of these. If you can schedule your social media, schedule it, get it done. Just schedule it out. Don't worry about it. It's not that important. Go live your life. Take your shoes off. I'm that kind of person, and I think that's really helped me keep a very good mental health throughout my entire career. It's not saying I do not have down days.
Yeah.
It's not, or I wouldn't say I even have days anymore. I would say I have moments. Because I really sit down and I really work on myself, and I try to be as self-aware as possible, because I think the more self-aware and the more you learn about yourself, the better you're with other people.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
you can, it just helps. It's very helpful. But I do say, get off your phone, go outside, go to dinner without your phone, and like plan a dinner with your friends and say no phones.
Phones in the middle.
I love that. Yeah. So good.
Say no phones for a night, where you guys just, get a bottle of wine, have some food, and you fucking laugh, and you talk, and you tell stories, and forget about this, and don't even take a picture the whole night.
Yeah.
What? Not even a picture of your food?
I know. Can you imagine back in the day? Please don't eat that. I'm going to paint it real quick.
Well, we're a relationship.
I can't stick it. And I made this a thing, too. Like, if I go out to dinner with people, and it's a situation like that, and we're just having a night off. It's not like a work dinner. It's not like, hey, we're going to do this for social media, and, because it does help, bringing people to your pages and stuff like that. But if it's just a night off and we're just hanging out as friends, and you got to be on your phone, unless you're not a doctor, you don't have emergencies.
Yeah, you're not.
I probably won't go out to dinner with you again. What's the point?
Yeah.
We can text all night. I can eat in my comfort in my own house at this point. And it's really sad. I take myself out to eat, and I see other people, and like, you'll see full families all on their phone at dinner, and I'm like,
that shit's
why do you get paid for pool like that?
Yeah, that shit's me. I don't like seeing that.
I hate that too.
Yeah.
It makes me feel really sad for people.
It's sad.
Yeah. When you see a couple,
I think we forgot how to communicate with each other as humans. Like, look each other in the eye and like fucking have conversations, and sometimes have hurtful conversations, positive conversations. It's all good. We just don't, there's just so many people that I don't think have that realism, that they just don't know how to handle things. And I also feel like, on social media and stuff like that, we got to stop telling people, everyone, that, it's trauma this, trauma that, this, that, and the other, and they all have problems. You're not a fucking doctor.
Well, there's a lot of out.
You know what I mean? Let's let people get the help that they need, and maybe suggest that, and not tell them. Sometimes
don't diagnose people through social media.
Huh?
Don't diagnose people through social media. Maybe just encourage them to. Yeah.
Well, recently I've been watching or reading about how it's actually happening in, I think, young ladies in their maybe 18 to 20 or 20 to 20. I don't know. It's in its early 20s, where they have cliques now. Where I don't know the terminology, but they're picking it because it's becoming popular or something. And it's not that they actually have that situation. It's just because they're on and they're consuming this type of material, it's creating that situation.
So
I don't know. It's really quite interesting.
a placebo effect that it's like making them
Yeah,
feel that way.
almost like a placebo effect. Yeah, it's wild. Like I think we're I think we're like, it could be dangerous times. I think social media is good if it's used responsibly.
Absolutely.
We're a dating podcast, so we're going to pivot into your dating life. Are you single, in a relationship? What's your status?
I'm happily single.
Love it. Love it.
Just working on yourself, single. That's the vibe. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I really do love the single life. I love my alone time. I like having my space. Even if I was like in like I even like think about, you know, where would I want my relationships to go, because I know what kind of relationships I've had. I've had very long monogamous relationships and very good. I've had also very bad monogamous relationships. It's kind of normal. I'm human. Been around the block. Yeah. You know, I know what worked for me before, and I know what was probably what I was doing to probably self-sabotage some of those relationships. And trying to fit in monogamy was just something that I think was not going to work for me and will not work for me.
When you say monogamy, does that count as like work, or is that separate? Like when you would go
well, first of all, yeah, work is work. Work is like, we're doing an intimate act, but we're not being intimate emotionally meant. There's nothing that there for me. I'm having a good time, you know, it's work. I want to have a great time. But I'm not going home and be like, oh wow, you know, like I'm just like, oh yeah, I saw so and so at work today. Da 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 da. It's just very, you know, it's work for me. Yeah. But no, I like variety. I'm definitely loving the single life because I like it dating people that don't live in the same city as me. Like in another country is even great. I don't care. Let me create that adventure. I've got to be able to miss somebody. You've got to be able to be emotionally intelligent. Totally. Have your own stuff going on. Sometimes be even too busy for me. I like that kind of shit. It's not about paying leaves. Just have your own stuff going on so that it's... Because I've got my own stuff going on. So if I have someone hey, can you... I'd just be like, okay, I can't give you that.
You don't want them to be too needy.
Yeah, not too needy.
I can't... Honestly, yeah, I do not do needy people well. I don't. I know that about myself.
On the on how I said before, how going on set is different to it's not intimate in that. Have you had any partners in the past not be able to compartmentalize the difference between that?
Or jealous. And
got jealous or insecure from that?
Oh yeah, I think maybe not so much jealous, or maybe just doesn't really. I would say maybe insecure a bit, and I think where that comes from is eventually the person's. Their friends find out, and all of a sudden they're just like, oh, is this your girl with a dick in the mouth? And they're getting that shoved in their face, and maybe they haven't really sat down to process everything. Sometimes it sounds really cool, and you're like, yeah, I'm up for it. I'm man enough, or whatever the case. I don't know what goes on in their brains. And then all of a sudden something like that happens, and that's an ego kick, and for them. Yeah. So that's happened, and I can recognize that, and that's also why I'm very selective about dating. I don't want to waste anybody's time, and I'm not going to waste mine either.
Yeah.
If you can't handle, if you're not, that's why I say emotional intelligence trumps everything.
Absolutely.
Anything in extremes, if you're extreme alpha, that's probably not going to, and if you're extreme beta, they're both dangerous. Emotionally intelligent human being is going to go a lot further with you.
That must be hard if you're in a relationship and then someone all of a sudden gets their ego kicked, and then you're kind of well,
you'll be
where does this leave me?
You'd have to.
Well, yeah, it makes it uncomfortable. It's not that I would come home from work and be like, oh man, I took 10 dicks today, or anything like that. But I should be able to talk about and bring you to functions and not have this weirdness about it. If you feel weird about the things I do, then we are definitely should never be in a relationship.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people out there that are in relationships because it's just a comfortable thing to do and not because it's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Not just in my industry, I'm just talking generally.
Yeah. Would you ever date someone who you met on set, or have you?
No, I haven't, and I kind of like to draw the line there, just because I don't like to shit where I eat at the same place. You know what I mean?
Smart.
I just never want to get in that circumstances, even though that we are all in the industry and stuff like that. If I don't want someone to tell me, hey, I don't want you working with them because maybe I don't care for them, or I don't want you work with them because I don't know, because I'm gonna look at you and be like, okay, when did you get insecure?
Yeah,
this is fucking work.
Yeah,
this is not like I'm not going there to meet somebody for drinks and be like, hey, you want to get in my pants? Like,
has any of the guys, like, have you felt like they might have like feelings for you post scene, or like you've maybe worked with them a couple of times and you have to kind of like set up that boundary, or is everyone very like works? Yeah,
I would say everybody I've worked with has always been very very professional.
Yeah.
I also think because of the way I handle myself on set too is very professional. Like, I definitely have a good time. I joke around. I have a good time. We set the mood and all that. But I do set the tone as like we're on a professional set.
Yeah.
You know, and that's also like, you know, even with my content creation for OnlyFans, I really do mimic how we do mainstream sets a little bit. Even if we're not using cameras all the time, if we want to use just our phones to give more of that realism effect, I still like to set the tone. Like, hey, especially with a new person I've never worked with before. I like to set the tone. Like, hey, you know, we're gonna get IDs. We're gonna do this professionally. We got a camera set over there. It's a BTS cam that stays running the entire time in case one of our boundaries gets crossed. That way we can address it. There's no problems. That way it's always it's protection. Like, you got to. Like, I also want everybody to feel super comfortable when they're working with me.
Yeah.
So.
How does a set work when you've got like producers and cameramen and that? Do you like come onto set and you like, obviously you said you set boundaries. Do you chat to them before to set the mood? What's like?
Or does it just go straight into it?
I couldn't imagine it. Like,
you're like, okay, go.
Okay. Back in the day, we would go more right into it. I would say it's changed.
For a better term
again,
of words,
it's definitely changed for the better.
Is there foreplay now before, like, before you get onto the?
No, actually, it's quite professional. When we all show up to set, you know, a lot of times I already know my set partner because I've been in the industry for a long time. But even if it's a new person, I'm usually in hair and makeup. Male talent usually comes in a little bit later because they don't have to go in hair and makeup. Yeah. Or if it's a female, they might be in before me or after me. I like to introduce myself. You know, I'm your scene partner and stuff like that. You know, very politely. And then eventually we have to all sit around a table. I'm contracted with browsers, so my experience with browsers, this is how we run it, or how they run it. We all sit around a table. We have an on-set liaison there to keep watch, to make sure everything's going properly, that everybody's being respected, all boundaries are being respected, that no one's being harmed or coming in, emotionally, all that. So we have all those things, and then we sit down with each other. We show, we do the IDs, we do our legal paperwork, and then we discuss boundaries right there. So there's actually we go in pretty cold turkey. Sometimes the guy may need to set the tone, may need a little help here and there. But it's done in a very professional way. It's not like you see in the movies of back, a lot of the fluffing.
Is there a fluffer? I brought that up on another episode. We went on another. Is there a fluffer?
No fluffer.
There's never a fluffer. Okay.
I wish. Sometimes I could use a fluffer. Fuck. Get it a little wet and fluffy for me. Come on, let's go.
Get it going.
It's done and also you want to set the tone for the video because you're getting hired to produce a product, and so setting the tone for that scene is important. I want the talent to feel good about themselves, and also in a very respectful way. And I'm also there's people I'm working with people that are married. I'm working with people that are in long-term relationships. I'm not trying to get with them. Yeah. I respect that relationship. I'm just trying to get the job done. So what do we need to do to get there?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Sometimes people need whispering in the ear. It could be very easy.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I feel like some of the younger, I mean, I don't even know if it's younger, but like if like one of your set partners is like intimidated and like maybe they can't get hard, is there like a protocol of like how things go with that? Like what's like the...
Yeah, like if there's something, if it's like I've had it happen, I'm being that I've always been the older woman that I like to put like the younger guy or something with us. The stepmommy shit.
Yeah.
The stepmommy stuff. Which has been very good for me, so no complaints. Yeah, you're going to have people that are nervous. I think, I worked with a lot of people even way back in the day in the beginning when we used to do like Fuck Team 5 and we have like, I swear to God, some of these guys had to be virgins, But, I swear. I'm like, is this your first time? Like, I always try to talk to them, and like, I like to, if they're a new person, I like to talk to them for real. Like, hey, are you doing okay? First of all, are you doing okay? Are you feeling all right? Are you comfortable being here? Are you comfortable with the situation?
Yeah.
Because that's number one.
Yeah.
Okay. If they say yes, I want to do this, I'm sorry, all that. Like, okay, forget about it. First of all, the last thing I want them to do is feel bad with what's going on, because that's only going to be a mental breakdown with their physical, right? So if they start feeling bad, that's going to only compile, like, oh shit, my dick's not getting hard for her. Oh my God. And it's never going to work.
Yeah.
Once they have that failure in there and their mental capacity, it's just not going to go, right?
Yeah.
So that was the last thing. I'm like, hey, it's cool. Tell me what do you like? What is it that you like to masturbate to when no one else is fucking around? Like, I'll whisper that shit in your ear all day. I don't care. I want to get you to feel good and get you in that mojo moment so you can feel good about yourself. That you're everything's working. Your blood flow's working. That you're also feeling comfortable. So I'm definitely willing to work with the talent, with the individual. To help them get through the scene and stuff like that.
So
I've been around for a while. I can give them really good advice. If they need some time alone, you can also tell, like, okay, did they take the blue pill beforehand and maybe they've just jerked it too much? Yeah. Then you're going to have that problem. There's a problem where sometimes if it's not just like maybe a little mental breakdown, sometimes if they've been jerking it way too hard, they might have some numbness or soreness, at the tip of their dick, and that might not feel good. So that might hurt them, or they might not be able to come right away with that. So you just gotta like read the body language and go ahead and that's where the communication and the comprehension comes down. It's really important in what we do. And I can literally take that into my personal life, because you're only go better when the better your communication, the better your comprehension, the better your relationships are.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
It's very professional.
Huh?
Yeah.
Very professional.
It sounds like a very like wholesome, like supportive environment. Which is actually like, I don't know why it's surprising to me, but it just seems like very like, everyone's very nurtured and like cared for.
When you watch it, you're obviously not seeing like all that sort of stuff. You're seeing just the act, and sometimes...
Yeah, you're just seeing the act, and you're seeing like however that was edited together.
That's exactly
There's sometimes where I've walked away, I was like, I don't know how I did in that scene. That might not be a good scene. And then I'll see it later and it'll be one of the top viewed, and I was like... How did they make that look so good?
Do you watch your own content? Do you consume your own content?
I do occasionally. Yeah, I do occasionally, because I like to see, what other people are talking about, like what's improving, what's good, what does my body positioning look like? Because in some of the positions that we get into, it doesn't make, we get like all kinds of like weird... I'm like, no one's having sex like this. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I think we should go with a warning. Please do not try this at home. No, your girl will not squirt like this unless she drinks 6
that's actually a good point. Do you think that some porn has sort of warped the young men's mind on how sex is? And women as well? Of how...
Look, I think like if you're a person, you're going to allow things to warp your mind. It's the same thing with weed. If you're a lazy person and smoke weed, you're just going to get lazier. If you're a highly motivated person and you smoke weed, you're only going to get even highly more motivated. Trust me, I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
I think, I think you can get addicted to anything. You can get addicted to food. You can get addicted to porn. You can get addicted to whatever the fuck you want to get addicted to, right? Overstimulation of the brain. I would say a lot of people are addicted to social media and their phones, right? They're scrolling constantly. In fact, there's times and moments in my life I'm like, am I addicted to this shit? This is terrible. So do I think if it's warping your mind, it's because you're looking at it as an educational piece, and it's not. It's adult entertainment. What does entertainment mean to you? Do you watch a television program like, I don't know, Game of Thrones and think people are really flying around on dragons?
I do wrestling, so I have the same argument with people that say it's not real, and I say it's literally entertainment. Like, what we do is entertainment. We're not trying to be real here. Like,
you're not really doing that.
I'm not really kicking this guy and body slamming him. He's my mate.
Yeah. This is so cool to know, by the way. So I just recently wrestled a friend of mine who is a pro female wrestler, or was, or still is. Yeah. And we did it for fun, right? We did it for fun. Anyway, they really fucking liked it. And so there's a big, huge comedy festival coming out, or here in September. It comes every year. It's huge, 3-day festival. They have boxing and they have tattoos and the best of the best comics. And so now they want us to actually wrestle a live wrestle them. And I have to say,
I'll have to watch it.
It is athletic. Practice does wear me out, but I love it.
I'll watch it.
I'm like, I want to jump off the ropes and do everything.
I'll give you some pointers. I'll watch it and I'll give you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Absolutely.
What's something that would surprise people about a porn set? Like something that's maybe shocking or something that people wouldn't know?
Break the fourth wall.
Yeah, that's funny. Sometimes we're allowed to break it. We're all like, what?
Wait, what?
We're allowed? I think there's a lot of different things or misconceptions on a porn set. I think, we kind of even hit on some of them. I think on a porn set, you understand, we have testing protocols. We're checking each other's tests. The company is checking our tests, making sure that we are in line with the regulations and the industry standards in which we've set. The hygienic part, I would say, and again, from me speaking, name another career where women are getting paid more than the men. Name another career where I walk on set, my hair and makeup get done the way I want it, that I feel the most beautiful in. I wear what I feel most beautiful in. Whatever, they might have some stuff picked out for me for the scene, but if it doesn't fit me right or I'm not comfortable in it, I can choose to wear something else.
Yeah.
If I don't want to work with that scene partner, I don't have to. I can say no. I can put people on my no list.
Yeah.
Name another career that can allow you to do that. We go over, there's legal. We do not get fucked up on set. This is water. Yeah. We can't. We're consenting that we're doing this activity of a clear mind, body, and spirit kind of thing. It's consensual, and we're making a clear judgment, decision. And we're not. It's not like I think what a lot of people have ever portrayed. Yeah. I also feel like a lot of these reality shows that have come out on Netflix and stuff like that, they always, you got to understand, they're set up for drama. And so they're going to pick and choose these segments that are going to be the most dramatic and pulling at the emotions and get the crowd going. They're never real. Yeah. Reality TV is not real, okay?
We know firsthand. We went on Love Island over here. We get it.
Oh, okay. So you guys know firsthand about
that. You're preaching to the court. We get it.
Yeah, and it's crazy that people don't get that. Yeah. But and then again, I think there's a lot of different things. I think maybe with more BTS and stuff like that get out there. I think those are misconceptions and all these, them just not knowing. I think that really just is an internal thing in themselves, that either they're insecure with the acts in which we're doing because maybe it triggers them in some way or another. Yeah. Or, they're just, I think a lot of people just need to mind their own business and stay in their own backyards And if you don't like something, you don't have to fucking look at it. You can block it. There's internet controls. You can even block things from your internet. I don't even know why states are going to the lengths to block people from watching, adults watching pornography. Like, when do we need states to be our fucking parent? That's fucking weird to me.
Yeah, that's why.
But like, if you don't, like, if you have, like, if you, like, if I had, if I had, I don't want children, but if I had it, I would be able to block sites coming through to my house.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. And let's just say this, like, there are excuses that they always, that a lot of people use and stuff like that, like they're trying to protect this and that. Well, they're going to go to school. They have a neighborhood. You got other kids out there. Like, most of the bullshit and the bad stuff I ever learned was never from home. It was from the kids down this block. Like, the older brother or the older sister. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, it wasn't because I was like, oh, let me get, okay, I'm a little older now. We didn't really have to doing that when I was younger, but I don't know. Does that make sense?
Internet going up and looking at searching.
The dial-up. We love the
tits
dial-up.
and porn and not knowing what the
Making up the parents that like everybody's gonna know what you like. You can't close that shit out. Come on.
I have a question.
But, yeah, I think.
I have a question because it's been playing on my mind, and I've just been thinking about it this whole time, and I just want to make sure I ask. Is there more money in OnlyFans or in porn?
There's a lot of money in OnlyFans, but not everybody is making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month.
Yeah.
There's OF teams out there that help manage other people's accounts and this, that, and the other. And when you have a big team managing your account, you might have more of a marketing, promo, and advertising power.
More expenses.
I'm not one of those people. I actually like to manage my own. But it's, to each their own. I'm not saying good or bad or anything like that. It's just different perspective. But I think there's, I like to keep reality about it, because new people coming onto OnlyFans think they're going to make $100,000 maybe their first month. And, if you do, awesome. But, you do have to put the work in if you want to make that.
So would you say you make more money now off OnlyFans over porn?
Yeah.
You said before
definitely. OnlyFans changed the game for us, and I think again what helps us to kind of be on that is that the fact that so many are already on that platform, so it's like a one-stop shop. They can create an account and all your favorites in one area. It's not like before where you're like, oh, one person's over at ManyVids, one person's over here at Clips for Sale, or you only saw this person in mainstream. Now it's like, oh, hundreds of us are on one site.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, that site was built for us, or, off of us in the very beginning. And then through the sale of that, that's where it brought on a lot of the other creators and more of the, now it's a huge wide range of people where it's safe for work and not safe for work.
Yeah. Obviously, the people around you now are very supportive, and you have obviously your business partner and things like that. When you first started in the adult industry, how did your friends and family react?
They didn't really react. I mean, I joined the industry. I was already living out on my own. So, I just basically tell them what I'm doing. Yeah. Hey, by the way, I'm doing this now. If they said anything, it wasn't to my face. I'll just say that.
Well, that's really good.
No, I think all my, I keep people around. I have a small group of people, tight knit of people that I keep around that I would consider friends. Everybody else is just an acquaintance.
Yeah.
And, if you don't have my phone number, then you don't have a problem with me, right?
Love it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Tom Holland just said that.
Yeah.
I
heard that. I heard that and I was like, that's fucking right.
Yeah.
Keep it
Yeah.
I think one last question that we should finish on, because we've been chatting for a while now. You've got multiple stuff that you need to get back to, or your plate.
I kind of forgot about all of it.
Well, it's a nice day. You want to go out in the pool. I'm sure the sun's setting over.
I enjoy the 110 degree weather.
Yeah.
Come on over, guys.
Do you have?
Let me know when you guys come to
any
Vegas.
Advice for anyone that's trying to get into the industry, or even on OnlyFans? So a lot of people I know that listen to our podcast would have OnlyFans because it's that's the everyday person now gets OnlyFans. Do you have any advice for them?
Yeah.
And they want to take it further?
Consistency. Definitely consistency is key. Go live, connect with your fans, create your social media accounts. But consistency is going to be a key to your success.
Absolutely.
And that's really with anything.
Yeah.
And how do you get there? You get there by being excited and disciplined. Those are the two main ingredients. Motivation is not going to get you every day. Excitement for the thing that you're doing and discipline to get you fucking there. Because I'm not always like excited to go to the gym, but I'm like... But the discipline gets me there, So one of those things, or both, is definitely going to be. But consistency and posting. Think about what you're doing before you go online, because once you put that video up, it's up forever. You can have it taken down, but it's already been shared. It's there forever. So understand what you're doing, what you're getting yourself into. If you have a partner, be honest, communicate. And if you have a partner, use that to your advantage. Gosh, like if I had a partner, man, there'd be so much more boy-girl content, and that's super safe for you. You might open up a whole new sexual experience and an adventure. Maybe, maybe all of a sudden you're like, maybe we can invite someone into our life, and you try a threesome, or maybe you try toys, or maybe... there's so much out there that you can explore. So, if you have a partner, it's great if you can work with your partner. Ladies, POV works really well. So get your guys to hold the camera. That they don't need to see the face.
I love it.
I'm not kidding, but yeah. I mean, there's just so much out there. But if you're you're in the MILFy genre, look at look at all the things that are popular with the MILFy genre. Figure out what your niche is, and what also, not only just your niche, but make sure you're comfortable with all the things that you're doing. And that's, again, communicate with your partner if you have a partner. And if you get a partner while you're in it, make sure you communicate what you're doing. Because, the last thing anybody wants to hear is, that news from somebody else.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Love it.
Well, thank you for your time. It's actually been very insightful and an amazing chat.
Oh, thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Alexis.
Yeah, thank you guys for making the time for me. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Don't
Bye.
hang up. Don't hang up.